Hello, welcome to another week with author E. Jamie. Forgot to take my sip of coffee. Gotta get me caffeinated in the morning, otherwise me no function. Um, so yeah, welcome to another week. So for just a little update, like sort of like what's been going on. I've been headed back to work, and I've had a few shifts this week, and these were my first. This week was my first bunch of shifts where I'm actually like on my feet. Last week I was back to work, but I was primarily sitting down at cash, which was hella boring. Um, which because like I don't mind being on a register for a while, and like as long as like other days like I'm doing like something else, um, just to sort of like break it up. But no, this last week I was primarily just on cash because I had to stay sitting down. This week was my first shift sort of on my feet, and it was it was hard. Like I'm still it's getting a little bit easier, but I'm still about like 3 hours in or so. I sort of hit a wall where like my legs are just like really really sore, and it's kind of like I start off, I'm not like limping as much, but then like after 3 or so hours I kind of start limping again because my legs feel really like not strong. um, so hopefully that gets easier. Like the first day that I was on my feet I couldn't stay for my whole shift. It was like um, I left like an hour earlier because I was like walking like I was an old lady at the end of my shift. The next day, I was still in pain, but it was a little bit better. And yesterday, again, at 3 hours in, and like I hit that wall. I'd say 3, 4 hours in this time, I hit that wall, and I was like my legs were sore and stuff, but like again, it wasn't as bad as the day before and the day before that. So slowly, hopefully, this means that like I will be getting better and better. And so I have been, the plan for this week, I'm going out in a little bit for my walk. I also have to go to the bank to deposit the workers' compensation money that I finally got to compensate me for the time that I missed at work. So thank God that I got that because um, I was out of work for like roughly a month, and yeah, so your girl was things were tight. Um, so thankfully I got the money for that. So I'm gonna go to the bank, and I also have to like pick up some stuff. Um, I'm planning this week, weather permitting. It seems like it's gonna be like pretty okay weather because I think it's gonna be like in the plus is like +7 and like stuff like that, which is good for like November, and no snow. Because last week was cold, y'all. We got to like -13, and it snowed. Um, but this week the weather is supposed to be nicer. We are planning to go back to our free little library this week. We are going to we're going to explore a new one. Um, so looking forward to that. Planning to do that tomorrow. Because Friday might be I think Friday's going to be a stay-at-home day. Because the girl's got to do some laundry and some editing and stuff. So Friday's probably going to do a stay-at-home thing. So tomorrow we're planning to do the free little library. Um, if that goes well, if like this week like I'm not too like sore or anything like that. Next week, weather permitting, we might go explore more of the city. Um, we might, yeah, we might do that next week. I don't want to say for sure because I don't want to jinx it. Um, but yeah, so that's sort of the plan. Um, I am reading. I don't know if I pointed out yet the other week that I am reading Kathy Maxwell's A Match Made in Bed. Yeah, I think I mentioned that because I remember showing off the insert cover, which I love so much, which is so cute. Um, and I'm 68 pages in, and I'm quite enjoying it. It's very, very cute. We have, I'm very glad that we've learned why the heroine is mad at the hero, which thankfully it wasn't a mystery that took like all book just because she wouldn't use her words. Um, we find out pretty early why, and some people might think it's a stupid reason. I think it's a really cute reason and very sweet, and I think that she did a good job in justifying why she was mad about that thing. And I am also reading. I have hit the halfway mark ish. Yeah, in Daniel Defoe's Moll Flanders. Absolutely enjoying it, very, very much. Um, and I am still watching Muralha, which is a Brazilian telenovela. Hate her, hate this bitch so much. I go into more of a rant of it in my previous video, which you probably, hopefully you've seen that. So I won't go into that again, but I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. I hate him. They should not be on the cover. My Thiago and Beatriz, they should be on the cover, or my Ana and Guilherme, they should be on the cover. So yeah. Um, so that's what I'm doing on audiobook. I finally got an audio that I am enjoying. To be fair, it's not one from my Audible TBR. It is one that like I actually like chose and from outside of my list to read, and it is Clanlands, read by Sam Heughan and Graham McTavish, Jamie and Dougal from Outlander. And I absolutely adore, this is the Clanlands Almanac. I absolutely adored the first Clanlands book that they did. And it was just so, the two of them together reading is just, it's so entertaining. They are so entertaining together. I have not been able to watch Men in Kilts yet. I'm still looking for a way to watch that because I don't have stars. Um, so I'm trying to find a way to watch that. Um, so hopefully I will be able to, because I've always wanted to, and it just seems like a really, really fun show from all like the little clips and stuff that I've seen. So, about to head out on my walk, going to the bank as well, and gonna pick up some provisions, and then coming back and going to be doing some editing probably, and I want to edit. Probably it's going to be Hershey's Chocolate Kisses, the Turkish drama that I'm watching. But that is not the name of the show. I cannot pronounce the name of the show because I'm an ignorant Canadian girl. It's Hercai, and I'm probably going to be editing episode 43 for YouTube because I am way ahead on like Patreon and stuff. I'm up to like 52, episode 52 on Patreon at patreon.com/author Jamie watches if you want to support me over there. We watch videos, we watch movies. I just recently put up Last of the Mohicans, the full unedited version. I put up the edited version on my YouTube reaction channel. But we watch Outlander over there. We watch Supernatural. We watch Lost, and I think every month or so we watch a movie. Um, so today I want to edit the YouTube version for Hershey's Chocolate Kisses, probably 43. Um, and I got an idea for a fan video from my sis, Julia LeBlanc, she of the Fantastic Outlander videos. She sent me this Bridgerton video for Kate and Anthony to this song. I think it's called Don't Blame Me. And I think it's by Taylor Swift. And it's just fantastic, fantastic video. And I got the idea that I want to do it for Wounded Love, for Halal and Leon. Wounded Love is the English name of a Turkish drama that I am also a huge, huge fan of. And I do fan videos for it, usually, on my fan video channel, which is eJamie's Fan Vids. And we usually do Game of Thrones videos and Wounded Love videos. Um, and occasionally, like I've done Lord of the Rings on there. I've done, yeah, just like primarily those two, Game of Thrones and Wounded Love. But I definitely want to do a song for them to that Don't Blame Me song by Taylor Swift, I believe it is. And so, yeah, either probably like next week we'll work on that. Yeah, so we're about to head out. Um, Probably going to end up buying some meat too because I am out of meat. Um, Maybe fish too. We might do like a little grocery bit too because I need like some other stuff, but I need like meat and fish and that kind of stuff because I'm totally, totally out. Because again, things been tight, y'all. Things been tight. But your girl got paid, so we're 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 doing okay again. Very glad about that. I'm gonna head out, and I will talk to you guys later. So just got back from my walk and running some errands. The weather's nice, thankfully. But my hip, my thigh bit, like it's kind of hurting a bit. Um, and it's still a bittle, a bit sore from yesterday. So that was like not great. That was a little like annoying. Um, but yeah, so it's bugging me a bit, which sucks. But went to the bank um, and hit a few stores because I needed to pick up some provisions. So I wanted to show you guys what I got. This is a little bit of a grocery haul, I guess. And the thing I am most happy about that I got, it's a food item. And it's just that it's kind of hard to find, so that when I do find it, I get very excited. I'm so happy. You don't know, if you don't know what this is, I'm so happy. This is the Ferma Sweet Pimento Paste. This stuff is so good. You can use it to marinate like pretty much anything, but the only thing is the the store that I have like closest sort of to me um, only had the hot version, and I was so missing having this to use in my food that I was tempted to get the hot, but the only thing that stopped me was I'm not a hot, spicy food person. Like Tabasco, and that's about it. Um, but the only thing that stopped me was I wouldn't be able to enjoy the taste of this because my mouth would be on fire. So I kept like waiting and waiting for them to get the sweet in, the sweet version of this. And finally, I saw that my Freshco had it, and that was at the other, like there's like a little Galleria sort of mall close to me, um, and they have a grocery store, Freshco, and I decided to go and check and see if they had it. And I was very annoyed that like the wall was like the front of the shelf was all like hot. I was like so annoyed. But then like I saw that like there was a tag for the sweet, and I'm like, are they out of the sweet? And, like, what is happening? So I thought like, oh, maybe if I like move like some of like the bottles like out of the way, that I'll find the sweet. And thankfully I did. Thankfully I did. I'm so happy. So this is the thing that I am most excited about. So got that. I am also happy that I got some fruit teas because I have the lemon ginger, which I like, and I have the peach ginger, which I like, but I've missed getting like the blackberry teas and like the cherry teas and the blueberry tea. And like, what the heck has happened to all the fruit teas, ma'am? Where, like, I can't find any anymore. The only ones I see, if I go to my shoppers, I see the peach tea and I see the lemon, which that's all fine and good, but I have those already. And I see peppermint, and they have like the warm sort of like apple cinnamon folly kind of ones, and like that's all fine. But like I've missed like fruity teas, and they're like not as many of them around. Like I've tried like the past couple of weeks, and for why? But thankfully, the grocery store that I went to has an international section, which they do have the passion fruit teas, which I tried last time, and they were so, so good. So again, they didn't have the blackberry or like the cherry or the what. Like, do you remember like the Celestial Seasonings? They have those like variety packs. Where are those? I don't see them anymore. I've missed them because I loved those, but and they were like $1.99, and I was happy because these are like the last two left, so I grabbed them. Very excited for that. Oh, let me show you price stuff wise. Um, the pimento paste was $4.79, so not bad. The teas were $1.99 each, which made me so happy. And see what's next. I got what are, in my opinion, the best oranges, clementines. Some yummy, yummy clementines. And these, like, I find are always like a safe bet. They're never, at least in all my experience of trying them, they're never dry or like mealy, or you know how like oranges that are not like, that are just not good. It's very hard to get a good orange, I have found. Unless it's like the season like for oranges. I'm not sure when that season is. I have to look that up. But clementines are always, always a safe bet for me. So love them. And I got my chicken. Got this value pack of chicken for $8.86. They had a tray for with like this big like $7 sticker, but there was only like 5 in them. 5 like drumsticks. So double check because it might seem like a good deal. Like it was this big like $7 sticker for like this tray of chicken drumsticks. But there was only 5. These have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. These have 9. These have like 2 extra, and they're only like, it was only like $1.80 more. So I definitely think there was only 5 in the $7 tray, and so you get 4 more for an extra $1.80. So definitely like have a look see, because just because they have like, it looks like a big promotional thing, might not be. So double check. And I also got some pork chops. Oh, the plastic's coming off. I busted that. For $4.30. Pork chops. And I got some. I will say I should have like videoed it. The meat counter was like virtually empty. like, I was like shocked. There was like hardly anything on the shelf. I'm like, what's going on? I got some salmon. Salmon, and that's there. From Anchor's Bay, and it was, how much were you? Salmon was $6.99, so not bad at all for 1, 2, 3 or 4. There are like 3 or 4 pieces in here. $6.99, not bad at all. Oh, and they now have, Freshco now has a points card, which I am definitely, yes, getting the points card. So it's earned 2 points, oh, when you're using the Visa card, but this is also a points card where certain items will have like, kind of like, you can get like discount on like certain items. So for this one I saved $1.20, which is always nice. Every little bit helps, so I'm definitely going to be filling out the application for that. And yeah, so very happy that they're getting their points card, because if I'm, like, I got my Food Basics on one side, and then I got this Freshco, which is like at the Galleria, which is also a grocery store that I go to. So I go to either one, so it would still be worth it to me for me to go for, get the points card for that one. I think I just realized that Food Basics does have an app sort of thing. I don't think they have like a card, but I think they have an app, which I should check that out and get that. But I also went to the pharmacy to get some stuff as well, and they were having a sale on vitamins, and I needed to get vitamin C, so they were having a 2-for-1 on the store brand vitamins at the Rexall. So I got the chewable, tropical flavored chewable vitamin C. We got 2 of those. We got 2. So happy about that. I needed, always, make sure that I don't run out of the coffee. And I like these very much because it was like $9. Do I have the receipt in here? Yeah, this was $9, but it's 18 sticks, and it's already with the coffee, milk, and sugar in each sort of like little sachet. So very, like, I think it's a good deal because you're saving on, even though like I have milk and I have sugar, but anything to sort of like make your groceries kind of last if you can, definitely a good choice. And I got, let me take that out to show you guys. I got Nutella, which was on sale. This little bit of Nutella, which I love Nutella. And so I got this on sale for like $2.99, and it's not like one of like the regular size, it's the smaller size, but that's fine for me. Like it takes me like a long time to go through like one of those like regular size jars of Nutella. So it's fine. $2.99. Because I don't just put it I don't just eat my like bread with like Nutella. I have peanut butter. I have like, if I want to make toast, I make toast. Oh, did I forget? Nope, I forgot something in here to show you guys. Oh, no, I did take it out. I just didn't show you. Also at the grocery store, I got the best chewy candies are these Portuguese fruit chewy candies. They're so good. And I remember I thought that this purple, you would think that it was grape. No, it's blueberry, which is fine, but I was hoping for grape, but it wasn't. They have its pineapple flavor, lemon flavor, strawberry flavor, orange flavor, um, cherry? Is there cherry here as well? I no. It's pineapple, lemon, orange, strawberry, and blueberry. These are so good. The peñas, the Portuguese, and they're like chewy fruit candies. So it's kind of like, I guess the equivalent would be like little little taffy candies. And I also got sour Skittles because I like sour and I like Skittles. Oh, and the last thing is sticky tabs because always. So that is what I got. I'm most happy that I got my sweet pimento paste. I'm so happy. Very, very, very happy. So I'm going to use that right now to make some chicken. And I have fries. Maybe I'll have that for lunch. Yeah. And then I'm going to look at what I'm going to be getting my niece for Christmas because without fail, this girl, every time I get her Christmas present, it always comes late. It always comes after frickin' Christmas. Even if I get it on Amazon, for some reason, I don't know why. If you're doing the, I'll do like the free shipping thing, but like, I'll get the other items first. And somehow hers is always late. So I'm going to be looking at getting her Christmas present, ordering it today, so that hopefully it does not come late. And then like getting like my other people's Christmas presents too. So I'm going to be looking for my niece's Christmas present today. I'm going to be editing my episode 43 of my Turkish drama, Hershey's Chocolate Kisses. Then just sort of watching, I mentioned more of my Brazilian telenovela, reading more of my All Flanders, and just sort of cleaning up a bit, taking it easy, and hopefully this sort of achy, owie goes away so that I can go and explore the free library that we haven't done in over a month, and I miss going and exploring those, so we will do that tomorrow, weather permitting. Yeah, so that's the plan for tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys later. So, about to head out on my walk. Let me drink my coffee. Okay. So, about to head out on my walk. Today we are going to discover a new free little library. So excited to get back to doing these. We haven't been to one since the beginning of October because the middle of October is when I fell down and went boom at work. And so I was unable to pretty much explore anything for about over a month. So that was not fun. So I'm very excited to finally get to go to another one. Oh, I forgot to show you what I'm going to be dropping off. If you do not know, the way free little libraries work is you take a book, leave a book. And so I hope this one But if not, there's always, I might pass by my thrift store and pick up something. Yeah, so let's showing off what we are unhauling today, and going to be dropping off at the Free Little Library. I will be dropping off Sins of the House of Borgia by Sarah Bauer, and this one is just the writing style just did not work for me, unfortunately. So I'm going to be dropping off that. I'm going to be dropping off The Last Time I Saw Paris by Lynn Sheen, and it was the same kind of sort of thing, which made me sad because this one is set in World War II, May 1940. But I believe it was because it just didn't, yeah, the writing style I found just like did not work for me, sadly. And I will be also unhauling The Time in Between by Maria Dueñas, which I liked. It was good, but I think it was just, yeah, it was just good. It wasn't like a keeper for me, but yeah. So those are the three that I'm going to be unhauling. Now, unfortunately, I had to DNF Daniel Defoe's Moll Flanders because while I loved the writing style very, very much, it was very like immersive and like drew you in, and even though it was all like tell and not show, I mean, if you tried to publish this today, there's no way. There's no way this would get published today. With the gatekeeping that goes on with traditional publishing, there is no way. Because there's just all these like stupid rules of like what uh, publishers think, and that like English majors have like arbitrarily decided have to be the rules of literature. And if you try to write a novel where the whole thing is being told and in like told to you and not like shown, like no, there's no way. So, but I totally enjoyed the writing style and the writing voice. What made me DNF it was this girl, Moll. She goes from man to man, which not my issue. That was not my issue. My issue was she kept having children with these men and then just completely abandoning the children as she goes to the next man. Like, oh, I was with this man for 2 years and I had like two children with him. And then I left to go to London and to find another man who I could like uh, have a fortune with. And then I, had one child with him. But then he didn't have the fortune that I wanted. So I went off to Bath and then uh, had married this man. And you never hear about any of her children again. She keeps just like having them and like ignoring them. And my DNF point was when she was talking about how she found herself pregnant again. And she was like, while I was not one who was going to get rid of the child, I would be more than happy if I miscarried. Now, I understand that she's that she wants to find a man with money. So she's not in the greatest financial situation. However, she has had children with men who, while they were not of the fortune that she wants, they were not dirt poor. And she's like abandoned them. She's not dirt poor, whereas she can't afford to have a child or what have you. It would be hard, I have no doubt, but the fact that she would be happy if she miscarried, I was done. I was done. I was like, if, especially because of the way that she was quote unquote abandoned by her mother. Now, granted, her mother had really no say in it, in that her mother was in prison when she was pregnant, and somehow, like, eventually, I'm not clear on, like, how the mother got out of prison, but it was the fact that she was pregnant that saved her from being executed. And so, Moll was pretty much raised, like, she was by herself, and then, like, raised by, like, this woman. Um, so, like, just the fact that she has no problem, sorry, she has no problem abandoning her children to be raised by other people, and yet she finds herself pregnant again, and it's another inconvenience. Then fucking close your legs. Stop having children if you don't want them. This is what, the 17... There were ways, okay? The men were not raping you and forcing you to have children. Okay? Granted, we didn't have birth control as we know it today, but there were ways of avoiding pregnancy back then. So I was done. I was done. Sadly, because I was enjoying this one so much more than Pride and Prejudice, which I gone on the ranty rant about that, so I won't do that. But yeah, I got about halfway. And then just nope, sadly. So I am concentrating on Kathy Maxwell's A Match Made in Bed, which is so sweet. I am so enjoying it. I am almost halfway. I'm almost at the halfway point there. Just because, I love showing off this insert cover because it's one of my favorites of all time. They just look like she's about to hit him with the pillow, and it's just so cute. It's one of my favorites insert covers of all time, and it's these feuding families, Cassandra and Soren, and Soren wants to marry her basically for her money, but they are childhood friends, and just I love the friendship between them. It's so like there's the attraction there and everything, but there's also like a friendship there that has grown from childhood. Um, Even though their families pretty much hate each other. But now, oh noes, Cassandra has been uh, accidentally finds herself in a compromising position with Soren because she walks in on him pretty much naked by accident, and unfortunately she gets discovered by people, and now they oh noes they have to marry. So that's sort of where we are right now, and I am enjoying it very, very much. Yep, so about to head out to discover a new free little library. I'm so happy. But it is hella foggy outside again. I think it was like last week, like the last weekly vlog or the vlog before that, it was foggy, and it's foggy again. I feel like I'm in like, it was 1950s London. It was either right after the World War II, or was it like in the 30s? I think it was in the 50s though. In London, they had a weather anomaly of some kind, and it was like foggy for like, I want to say 6 months. Just fog. Yeah, like that. Well, what is happening right now? When I woke up, I thought it was snow. And I was like, no, it's not supposed to snow this week. I left my winter boots at work so that I can like just walk around freely, like just in my like regular shoes. But no, I got, and it was fog. So I'm gonna try and film a little outside, but I'm not sure. So gonna head out now, and hopefully we'll find some good stuff at this free little library. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. So just got back from my walk to my first free little library in over a month, and it was lovely. The weather is beautiful outside. The fog has finally lifted, and it's cool. It's not cold. It's cool, and there's a little bit of sun. And you go out in like a sweater and your coat, you're fine. Oh, it was so nice. And I finally was able to walk from my street down to the subway, which is about a 20-minute walk. And I have not been able to do it in over a month, and I did it today. And so that, including just a little bit of a walk to the free little library, and then the walk back from the subway to my street. Um, my legs, like, they don't hurt, but they're tired. So I was able to like walk on the way there at my normal pace, but my gait was kind of a little bit stunted. Like I wasn't necessarily limping. I was limping a bit on the way back, but I wasn't necessarily limping on the way there. But my steps weren't as smooth as they were before my injury. Um, but I'm just so happy that I was able to walk down to the subway and then walk back. Um, I took the subway because the free little library is a few stops over in the subway, and I took the subway back, but from the subway station to my street, I was able to walk it, and my legs are a little tired, but not necessarily sore, just kind of tired, and that makes me so happy. Um, so next week, I think, weather permitting, please, I should be able to go and maybe explore the old mill neighborhood that I've wanted to, um, and sort of the like path and little like park there that I've wanted to before my injury. I'm hoping. If not, if the weather is like bonkers, I might go and explore this sort of area called the Path, which I knew existed, but I never really like explored like the whole of it. It's not like a nature path or anything like that. It's this like this sort of like the shopping concourse that is um, sort of in the subway, but it's sort of like connecting the subway stations. It's underground. It's in the subway tunnels, but it's sort of like connecting the subway stations, and it's just this concourse of um, miles of like shops. And I didn't know this, but apparently it's the largest kind of shopping concourse in North America, I think. But yeah, I was reminded of it by another YouTube booktuber person. Um, so yeah, if the weather's kind of wonky, next week we'll do that. If not, then we'll explore the Old Mill neighborhood. Um, so I'm just very happy. I'm so happy. Um, so Free Little Library was cute. It was such a cute one, and it had a wide like kind of like selection of books. Um, just not necessarily ones that I wanted. I got one from the Free Little Library, and it was. First, let me take this out. I'm going to show that to you in a second, but that's not what I want to show to you right now. Um, from the Free Little Library, I got Dean Koontz's Mr. Murder, and I had gotten. And why is it tilted? Okay, do your job, hand. And I like Dean Koontz. He's one of my sister's favorite authors, and I enjoy him as well. He does mostly like mystery horror kind of books, and I don't necessarily like mystery, but I like his books. So like, that's what I got from the Free Little Library. So because I only got one from the Free Little Library, I justified to myself that I could go to my thrift store. So we did that, and I got there. I got Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon because I want to keep trying Toni Morrison because the first one that I read of her, I adored her writing style. Her writing style is gorgeous. And the first one I tried of hers was Sula, and I hated her. I hated the main character, Sula, with the passion of 1,000 blazing suns. So, was not my favorite, but I adored the writing style. So, looking forward to that one. I got Tilly Trotter by Catherine Cookson. Oh, and I just realized it's the first of a trilogy, Tilly Trotter. And I got this one because I remember the last time that I was there at that thrift store, I saw this there, and I didn't get it at the time. And I remember regretting that I didn't get it. Because I also follow another booktuber on here, Becky's Book Reviews, and she got this huge haul of Catherine Cookson books, and she's been going through them and reviewing them. And just the way that she talks about them makes them sound like so interesting. I have dinner verbs. I have the girl on there. Um, yeah, I think the next one that I have is the girl, and I think this will be my third, and it's Tilly Trotter. And I remember regretting that I didn't get it the first time, so I told myself that if it was still there, I was gonna get it. So very excited. Next, we have an old school Harlequin. An old school Harlequin presents, which I always like checking those out. And if I enjoy it, adding it to my collection because I love collecting old school Harlequins. And this one is African Assignment. And how old are you? Let's see. It was originally published as a Mills and Boon, which is the UK equivalent of Harlequin, in 1991. So I was gonna say not that long ago, but I keep forgetting that we're in 2022 right now. And I got Linda Lale Miller's The Yankee Widow. And Linda Lale Miller is kind of a hit or miss for me, but this one sounded interesting. It's she's torn between two soldiers, and this is during or right after the during the Civil War, I believe. And she's torn between two soldiers, and two soldiers fighting on opposite sides. So there's that. So looking forward to that. So that's what I got from the thrift store and the Free Little Library. And I left my 3 books that I showed you guys earlier that I was going to unhaul. So I left those 3 books there, and hopefully people will enjoy those. And I was going to make some salmon today, but I forgot that they've shut off the water today because they're doing something. They have to do something with the pump or boiler room or something. And I forgot. So I'm going to save that salmon, marinate it in something, and likely make it tomorrow. So I wasn't going to be able to cook anything today until I get the water back on at about sometime this evening. I think around 4. The water's supposed to come back on. So I figured I would have to either make some kind of sandwich or pick something up to eat. So I decided to treat myself and pick something. This is sort of a treat myself kind of day. Because you know what? I was happy with myself that I was able to walk down to the subway today, damn it. So I was going to treat myself. So the cafe that is beside where I get my cheese danishes had some cheese danishes. They had 2. So they got my cheese danishes. They have 2. So I have 1 for later and 1 for breakfast tomorrow. And I treated myself to a turkey bacon sub, which I don't know if you can see that there. Can we do this without it falling? There we go. A turkey and bacon sub, which smells really, really yummy. So I'm going to be having that now. I think for the rest of the night, I'm just going to continue reading Match Made in Bed. I'm almost halfway point. I'm almost finished this telenovela, it's been a journey, y'all. I've had feelings. This bitch who had her baby, and she had the baby, the incest baby, that she found out was by her brother and not her cousin as they had originally believed. And she wanted nothing to do with the baby. She was getting ready to kill the baby. And so Tiago's wife, Beatriz, is like, no, give it to us because they have that other wife who has been dying to have a child, and so they the baby was given to her, and she was so happy. And then this bitch comes and takes the baby back because she doesn't want her to have the baby. She still wants to kill the baby. And I and then the woman was so heartbroken that they went like to try and like get the baby back, but the woman literally died of a broken heart. She got sick and she died. And they brought the baby back just in time, but she was already too far gone and died. And so her husband is now had like vowed revenge that he was gonna kill Isabel, but they stopped him for I don't know why. I was perfectly fine with him killing Isabel, even though I'm not too fond of him because he killed the native boy who Isabel slept with, knowing that she was freaking putting him in danger. I hate this bitch so much. Oh my god, I can't even. I can't even. So I wasn't fond of the the husband. Like I wasn't all that fond of him, but I would have been happy if he killed Isabel, but they stopped him. And so in his grief, he sort of like gone off and said like I'm never coming back here. I'm leaving. Um, Anna, who was the Jewish girl, and is still with that like sadist dude. And even though the man that she does love, Guillermo, is trying to get her away from him, so I'm just waiting for that freaking sadist dude to die. Geronimo, Don Geronimo. I yeah. So they're probably have like the most interesting like the story that I'm most invested in is Anna and Guillermo. Um, there's the youngest daughter who was banished because she fell in love with this guy Benito, who was sort of working for Don Geronimo, but he actually fell in love with the girl Rosalia, and she sort of acted like this innocent, naive little girl, and she was, but she was also very, very strong and is sort of like she kind of owns his ass now, Benito, because he is so in love with her now that he wants to he wants to stop doing things for Don Geronimo, but Don Geronimo kind of won't let him. So there's that. And um yeah, so I'm and Thiago and Beatriz, they're they're good right now, but Thiago's gone off to like find this gold mine with his father and his with a bunch of the men from the village, including this one guy Vasco, who's actually in love with Thiago's wife Beatriz. So there's a little friction there. Um, yeah, so it's a journey. It's been a journey. My favorite character is I love Anna. Oh, and her the native slave girl that Don Geronimo was abusing, Mushila, I think her name is. Her and Anna are have become like really really good friends. They're like the best of friends now. And Mushila is actually in love with this young priest, and he's in love with her too, but he's trying to fight it because priest, um, and that she's a native girl. But yeah, there's sort of that going on. So there's good, there's really good bits in this novella, but as a whole, not my favorite. Not my favorite, but I'm invested enough to want to see like how things pan out and how the storylines that I like pan out. So, gonna be watching some more of that and cleaning up around here. But right now, I'm going to have my lunch and doing some reading later. And yeah, and then tomorrow I think is gonna be a stay-at-home day because your girl has got to do some laundry. So, gonna be doing that tomorrow. And yeah, and editing the weekly vlog from last week. So, um, I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that I was able to walk that little bit, like just from my subway from my street to the subway station, because I've walked the from like my street to the library that's closest to me, but it's been like slow going, and I was like mostly limping, and then like my legs, it would hurt after. Today was the first day that I walked a good distance, and my legs are just a little tired. I'm not sore. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy. um, yeah, you really do like take for granted being physically able to do things. You really, really do. So that's gonna be it for today, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So today will be a sort of stay-at-home day because I'm doing some laundry and doing some like housekeeping stuff around here. Um, but I just wanted to update you guys on the fact that I DNF'd Kathy Maxwell's A Match Made in Bed. And this hurts. This hurt me because I was so enjoying it. And I was so, like, I was loving the friendship between them. And then them, like, sort of, they are forced to get married because of compromising positions. Um, and they're sort of, like, discovering their marriage, like, their relationship as, like, a married couple. And it's so sweet and beautiful. And then we learn that the inheritance that Soren originally wanted to marry Cassandra for, her father, who ended up not actually being her father, uh, gambled it all away, spent it all. So she had nothing. So now they're both broke. uh, and so, in a um, attempt to save at least them in a small way financially, and Cassandra decides that she's going to sell the only thing of her mother's that she has, and that is her pearls. And Soren like doesn't want her to do that, but she does it, and Soren does the sweetest thing in that he's able to save like one pearl from it for her too, and he puts it on like this velvet or this cloth ribbon of some kind, and he promises her that when things are better, he'll be able to buy her a gold chain for it. I, I can't with him. And then Cassandra pulls a pitch move, and um, I don't remember what they were arguing about. I think it was that uh, Soren tells her that they're gonna have to leave London to go live in the country because it's cheaper and they has no money. And Cassandra is complaining because she doesn't like the country, because she doesn't feel comfortable there, and that the country folk, they treat her not nicely because she is a woman with a brain. Apparently, all country folk people have no brains and no ideas of their own, um, and so that they treat her badly. And so she's complaining that she doesn't want to go. And I'm like, bitch, you has no monies. You're married to this man. Shut your pie hole and go with him to the country. And especially because he's doing like all these things, like he's like trying to like encourage her to like, oh, maybe like if you go into the country, you can like make friends with people and like, like share your ideas with them, and like uh like sort of change their minds, and you can find, like build sort of your own sort of ways of fulfilling your dreams, like maybe you can write, you like all these, like, you love to read, and you love all these, like, um, important female writers and their ideas and stuff, and like maybe you can share some of your own ideas and, like, convince the people to um, change their way of thinking and that kind of thing. And so he's like throwing out all these ideas, and she's like just like annoyed with him that he's trying to convince her that it's a good idea to move to the country. And I'm like, bitch, you have no choice. You has no monies. You cannot stay in London. And they were arguing like something along those lines. And she ends up throwing in his face that she she's the one that provided them with the money that they have by selling her mother's necklace. She throws in his face that she's the one that saved them financially, even though like they still like has like no real monies, but they have enough to survive now. She throws it in his face that it's because of her. I was like, no, you just fucking did not. And he like blows right past it like it's no big deal, as if like the writer was trying to tell us, like, see, he doesn't mind it, so you shouldn't mind that he said that. No, fuck that. That totally turned my opinion on the heroine after that. I was loving her up till that point. And then she said that. Especially after he saved one freaking pearl for her and did that beautiful thing. He didn't have to do that. But he did that for her, and for her to throw in his face that I absolutely hated her after that. And but I kept reading along to see if she would ever like apologize for saying that. And granted, I was skimming the rest of it because she totally turned me off. But I saw no apology. And all I saw was her complaining about the fact that they had to live in the country. Even though for a supposedly intelligent woman, she should have known that that was her only option because they has no monies. And yeah, so that totally turned me off. I could not with her after that. But, so I DNF'd that one, and then I started. I'm only like 16 pages in, and I'm loving it already. The writing style is so like, you're immediately drawn in, and it just feels like you're getting into a warm bath. The most comfortable, or you're like curled up on the couch. I don't have a couch, but if I had a couch, I would be curled up in it with my blanket, um, and a cup of tea, and you're just reading by the window, and it's that perfect, comfortable feeling. That is, thus far, the first 16 pages of this book, Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Loving it so far. Loving it so far. We have Anne, we have Matthew and Marilla, I think her name is, um, who are brother and sister, I believe, and they live on a uh, homestead in, uh, or I guess it's called Green Gables. And they are getting on in age and they need help. So they decide they're going to adopt a boy to help out on the farm. Um, Except, whoops, the orphanage does a dum-dum and accidentally sends them a girl named Anne, who Matthew goes to pick up. And Matthew is a very sort of shy old man. He does not people. He does not enjoy peopling in the least, but he's the, I guess because he's the man, he has to go and pick up their little orphan boy, who turns out to be a little orphan girl with red hair who does not stop talking. And she's just so lively and sweet, and she does not stop talking. And I love it so far. I love it so much so far. And I remember bits and pieces of the original Anne of Green Gables. Not that Anne with an E thing that totally, like, I heard of it, I hadn't seen it, the Anne with an E, but the actor who played Gilbert, the actor was such a asshole in real life. I mean, you just see like videos of him talking, um, and just how he appeared to have such disdain for the fans, and the, I he was such an asshole that totally turned me off ever wanting to watch Anne with an E. I will stick with my CBC 1980s beautiful version with Megan Follows, and his name just fell out of my head. Oh my god. The actor who played Gilbert Blythe, Jonathan Crombie? I can't, his name just literally just fell out of my head. I have to. I'm sorry. Let me do the Google. Because how the hell did that happen? I must. But he was the preciousest. The 1980s version with Megan Follows, that Gilbert Blythe, God rest his soul, the actor has passed away. But he was the best, the bestest. Goodness gracious. Why does technology not like me right now? Jonathan Crombie, I was right. Ha! But yeah, he was Gilbert. I don't give a shit about that piece of shit actor that was so incredibly rude and just in Anne with an E. That Gilbert Blythe does not exist for me. And I didn't even watch the show. I just saw little bits of him like off screen, and that was enough to put me off. Oh no, 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 no. So CBC 1980s version, Megan Follows, Jonathan Crombie. Watch that Anne of Green Gables, because I just saw bits and pieces of that, and I remember watching the the Anne of Green Gables, the first one, but I just remember bits and pieces of it. I need to like get the DVDs again and watch it again, because I remember loving it and loving Jonathan Crombie as Gilbert Blythe, and he was just the bestest. So that's what I'm reading right now, and I am, of course, annotating it, because I figured I would do that with the classics that I read, to, mark down my thoughts about them. Just, I think I thought that I wanted to share just one, like, little ongoing monologue that she has that I wanted to read. Okay. The fact that she has not stopped talking since he picked her up. And this is one long running monologue that she has that I had to read to you guys. Isn't that beautiful? What did that tree leaning out from the bank all white and lacy make you think of? She asked. Well, now I don't know, said Matthew. And mind you, Matthew, again, does not like to talk, does not like to people, but there's something about her that makes him want to reply to her, that actually, like, kind of like brings him out of his shell. So let me just continue. Well, now I don't know, said Matthew. Why, a bride, of course. A bride all in white with a lovely misty veil. I've never seen one, but I can imagine what she would look like. I don't ever expect to be a bride myself. I'm so homely nobody will ever want to marry me unless it might be a foreign missionary. I suppose a foreign missionary mightn't be very particular, but I do hope that some day I shall have a white dress. That is my highest ideal of earthly bliss. I just love pretty clothes, and I've never had a pretty dress in my life that I can remember. But of course, it's all the more to look forward to, isn't it? And then I can imagine that I'm dressed gorgeously. This morning when I left the asylum I felt so ashamed because I had to wear this horrid old wincey dress. All the orphans had to wear them, you know. A merchant in Hopetown last winter donated 300 yards of wincey to the asylum. Some people said it was because he couldn't sell it, but I'd rather believe that it was out of the kindness of his heart, wouldn't you? When we got on the train I felt as if everybody must be looking at me and pitying me, but I just went to work and imagined that I had on the most beautiful pale blue silk dress, because when you are imagining, you might as well imagine something worthwhile. And a big hat, all flowers and nodding plumes, and a gold watch, and kid gloves and boots. I felt cheered up right away, and I enjoyed my trip to the island with all my might. I wasn't a bit sick coming over in the boat. Neither was Mrs. Spencer, although she generally is. She said she hadn't time to get sick watching to see that I didn't fall overboard. She said she never saw the beat of me for prowling about. But if it kept her from being seasick, it's a mercy I did prowl, isn't it? And I wanted to see everything that was to be seen on that boat, because I didn't know whether I'd ever have another opportunity. Oh, there are a lot more cherry trees all in bloom. This island is the bloomiest place. I just love it already, and I'm so glad I'm going to live here. I've always heard that Prince Edward Island was the prettiest place in the world. It is. And I haven't been there, I've just seen pictures, but it really is. And I used to imagine I was living here, but I never really expected I would. Isn't it delightful? It's delightful when your imaginations come true, isn't it? But those red roads are so funny. When we got into the train at Charlottetown and the red roads began to flash past, I asked Mrs. Spencer what made them red, and she said she didn't know, and for pity's sake not to ask her any more questions. She said I must have asked her 1,000 already. I suppose I had too, but how are you going to find out about things if you don't ask questions? And what does make the roads red? That was a whole freaking speech! And his answer, well, I didn't know. Oh, I'm enjoying it so much. And I didn't realize that there are like 8 books in the series. I knew of Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, and did I know about and Anne of Ingleside or something like that? Anne of Avonlea, yeah. I knew like I knew some of the, but I didn't know there was 8. And I think the last two are Anne's children, Anne and Gilbert's children. So that is what I'm going to be doing. Reading. That's what I'm reading today. I'm on. I think I'm about to get into the last episode of of this one, and oh my god! Every time she gets wounded, I get my hopes up and think she's gonna die, but she does. She hasn't died. She hasn't died, and she's like decided that she wants to be a mother to the baby now. But there's a scene where this leopard or something somehow gets into the house and is going to attack the baby, But this guy, this this Indian boy, saves the baby by saves the baby and kills the leopard. And she's mad, and I think she does she kill the Indian boy? I think she kills the Indian boy because he killed the leopard. She's mad about the fact that he's killed the leopard and is not grateful to him for saving her baby. I and then there was like this court case with like because they found a mine and then like the bad guy Don Geronimo has tried to steal the mine from them, but they had a governor come um, because one of the wives had accused Don Geronimo of killing her husband, which the husband is actually alive, but so attempting to kill her husband, and the governor sided with Don Geronimo, so and says that they must give Don Geronimo the mine, but they're refusing to. So now there's a war happening, and the governor is actually played by the guy who played one of the early Brazilian telenovelas, Rock Santeiro. The guy who played him, he's playing the governor in this, and that guy is like a real like big deal classic, well-known Brazilian telenovela actor. Um, but Anna and Guilherme have escaped from Don Geronimo after like he tried to keep her prisoner by like hiding her behind a wall, and he like boarded up the wall. But Guilherme helped her escape, and now they're like on the run together. And Anna's pregnant now, um, and yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Um, I'm enjoying like bits and pieces of it. So, um, and I'm going to be editing last week's vlog to put up, and I should be uploading um, Hershey's, my Turkish drama that I'm watching. For my reaction channel, I should be editing episode 40 or uploading episode 44 soon, so that should be up soon. And I'm going to be editing my weekly vlog from last week to put up for you guys. So that's going to be it, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!